Hey guys, what's up? Magic in the Basement here. How are you guys doing? We're having a Commander Deck Tech homebrew today. Sorry I haven't been around doing a couple videos. Honestly, I didn't know which kind of Commander homebrew to do next. I mean, I had a couple decks. I wasn't sure which one to upload next. I know the 2018 Commanders homebrews were pretty popular. But aside from that, I'm not really sure what you guys want to see. So, that being said, leave in the comments. Let me know the kind of decks that you would like to see. Um, like if you want to see, like, I don't know, mill or zombies or whatever. If I got that commander, I'll build that deck to my ability, my kind of spin on it. What I think would kind of go well together. And I'll show you guys. I'll share it with you guys because that's what I like. I like to share a lot. Um, Also, I've been streaming on my mixer a lot. So I don't know if you guys like to watch games. I've been streaming Minecraft and like Dragon Ball Z and stuff like that. Check it out. It's my gamer tag and my mixer for my Xbox One is Lazy Lazy Kitten Kitten 92155. Yes, that is a random generated Xbox gamer tag because they replaced my old one. It's a story for another day. But anyway, yeah, if you want to check out my stream, that's it. I'm on Mixer. Check me out. Um, but another side note before we get into this video, we're up to 9 shares, overall shares for the giveaway. Remember, I'm having a giveaway on October 7th for a $25 TCG player gift card. Doing the gift card so you don't have to worry about shipping or anything, or I don't have to worry about shipping or anything. So the winner will be emailed with the code, and so it's like pretty much we do the drawing. I do the winner. I'm doing this all on cam live for you guys, so you guys know. I'll do the drawing, and then whoever wins, you give me your email address, and I'll shoot you over the code, and boom, $25 gift card. But if we get 50 shares of videos, then I will add an extra entry for everyone who's entered. So you'll have more chance to win. And if we get up to 100 shares of any of my videos, like I said, this is any videos now. Like share whatever video you enjoy the most, on whichever platform you like the most. If we can get up to 100 shares, I will add an additional $10 gift card to the prize pool and give that away as well. Yeah, so check that out. If you got any questions, leave them in the comments. All right, so here we go with Atraxa, Praetors Voice. This is the Commander Anthology 2 edition. That's the symbol. It's a foil. That's why it kind of looks a little bit, I guess, murky, because I have it double sleeved, so it doesn't turn into a Pringle. Um, but yeah, I like this deck. Disclaimer: if you try to build this deck, it's not a budget deck. Putting that out there now, and B, make sure you have a lot of dice or a lot of tokens. I put it this way: this is 24 cube of dice. I went through this and a couple extra dice with this deck, with the amount of tokens. I mean, because I don't use like the zombie tokens or whatever, or cat tokens or whatever. So I use dice to represent them, and also dice when it proliferates and stuff. So anyway, if you go to build this deck, make sure you have some sort of tokens or dice with you, because this deck needs it. Because what she does, she's a 4 mana for 4/4, flying, vigilance, death touch, and lifelink. So she's a pretty good brawler by herself. But her ability is where it comes into play. At the beginning of your end step, proliferate. Proliferate means choose any number of permanents and or players with counters on them, then give each another counter of the kind it already had. So if something's got a counter on it, like a loyalty counter, a +1 counter, a poison counter, any kind of counter, you can, at the end of your end step, you can increase that counter by 1. And it says may. It's, your choice. So just keep that in mind. All right. So yeah, that's her. That's our commander today. She's 4 colors, everything but the red. So yeah, this deck has a lot of planeswalkers in it because of her proliferation ability. But we'll get into those in a little bit. We'll go. I want to do the enchantments first because it's got one of the enchantments in this deck is the bread and butter. One of the big pieces of the deck is in the enchantments. All right. So first off, we have Blood Feast, 2 mana. Pay 2 mana, a black and a colorless. Pay 2 life, draw a card. Now this is a flip card. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you have 5 or less life, flip it over. And then it flips into legendary land, add a black mana, or sack a creature, gain life to its toughness. I like the, it's a legendary enchantment as well to keep in mind. So we got that guy. I put that in there for mainly card draw. I don't expect it to ever flip. But hey, if it's there, if you can flip it, it's there, whatever. Because if you do flip it though, with this deck you can get creatures' toughness very, very high. So if you're in the, if you got the mana, you almost could like, pain yourself a lot, draw as many cards as you can with mana, get down to 5 life, flip it, then tap it to sack the creature, gain all the life back. Boom. So yeah, we got that one. We got Oath to Jace. It's 3 mana. It comes into play. You draw 3 cards and then discard 2 cards. And then at the beginning of upkeep, you scry X for X's number of planeswalker you control. Then we got Oath of Gideon. He comes into play. It comes into play. Put 2/1 core allies on the battlefield. Tokens on the battlefield. Each player you control enters with an additional loyalty on it. Then we got Oath of Teferi. When he enters the battlefield, exile another permanent you control, or turn it at the beginning of your next end step. So he like blinks something when it comes into play. And then his is you can activate loyalty abilities of planeswalkers twice. So yeah, that is a huge thing in this deck. Being able to +1 something twice. I mean, plus something twice, or plus it in an ultimate on the same turn. Very, very big in this deck. Then we've got Mirari's Wake. Creatures you control get +1/+1. And whenever you tap a land for mana, you get 2 of that mana. So it's a mana excel. Here we got Corrupted Conscience. This is like an effect card. It's a side, like I would say a side winning condition. This is not an infect deck. But if you can steal one of their creatures and swing in even once on each player and infect them, or even once on one player and give them an infect counter, Atraxa will put them on the clock at that point, because every turn they're going to get another poison counter whether you attack with the creature again or not from the proliferation. And then we got good old Doubling Season. This is a huge key card of this deck for the Planeswalkers. When playing this card is 5 mana. If an effect would put 1 or more tokens under your control, it doubles the number instead. If an effect would put 1 or more counters on a permanent you control, you put twice that many instead. So your planeswalkers come in with double loyalty. Okay, and their pluses give them double power. So for example, we'll go into our planeswalkers now. We have so if you got Doubling Season, it turns like mediocre planeswalkers like this one into very powerful cards, because she's 6 mana for 5 loyalty. Now, with 5 loyalty, you'll never expect to get her to her ultimate ability to take an extra turn, tap all creatures and then take an extra turn. Well, if you got Doubling Season out, she comes in and can go ultimate on the first turn. Okay, if you got Oath of Teferi and the Doubling Season out, she can come in, she can +2, and then ultimate and still be alive. That's very strong. So yeah, there's a bunch of the planeswalker deck planeswalkers in here, just because like normally they're not very powerful, but if they can come in an ultimate on the turn they come in, it makes them something to be reckoned with. All right. Yeah, her +2 is tap target creature. I mean, target creature can't be blocked this turn. -3, draw 2 cards, and then -10, tap all creatures your opponents control. Take an extra turn after this one. Pretty good, and I love the art. Then we got Vraska, Scheming Gorgon. 6 mana, comes in with 5 loyalty. Again, if doubling season's out, she can ultimate. On her turn, she comes in. +2, creatures you control get +1/+0 until end of turn. -3, destroy target creature. -10, until end of turn, creatures you control gain Death Touch, and whenever this creature deals combat damage to an opponent, that player loses the game. Her ultimate is ridiculously powerful, and this is a pre-con Planeswalker. So yeah, if she comes in with doubling season ultimates, and you can get in 3 creatures, one on everybody, you win the game that turn. It's just stupid powerful. It's just something to think about. All right. We got Jace Cunning Castaway. If you got doubling season on him, he can go an infinite infinite loop, and make as many tokens as you need him to. Because he comes in with 3 loyalty, but his minus is 5, so he can ultimate on the first turn without dying, and can keep doing it. So he's 3 mana for 3 loyalty. +1, whenever one or more creatures you control deal combat damage to a player this turn, draw a card and discard a card. -2, create a 2/2 blue creature with whenever this creature becomes target of spell ability, sacrifice it. And then -5, create 2 tokens that are a copy of Jace Cunning Castaway, except they're not legendary. So think about it, with that. With doubling season, you would then, and he ultimates, he would create 4 tokens of himself, and they would all be able to ultimate, creating 4 more tokens of himself, so on and so forth. And so it's just, if they have haste for whatever reason, GG, because each copy can make one of those illusions. You know what I mean? So you're making 4 copies of Jace, which can make 4 illusions, which then, if they have haste, you can just make as many as you need to win the game. Alright. We got Teferi Timebender, 6 mana for 5 loyalty. Untap +2 to untap 1 target artifact or creature. -3, you gain 2 life, draw 2 cards. -9, take an extra turn after this one. Again, another extra turn planeswalker that can alternate if you on the turn they come in if you got doubling season. Very, very powerful. Alrighty. Let's go to Vivian. 6 mana for 5 loyalty. +1, put 2 1/1 counters on up to 2 creatures. With doubling season, you get to double the amount of counters, so that's very strong. Again, I'm not going to say it each time, but keep in mind with these planeswalkers, if doubling season's on the field, without it they look very kind of timid, very weak. With doubling season on the field, they are powerhouses. And if you have Atraxa on the field, it's even better. All right. -3, target creature you control deals combat damage equal to its toughness to target creature you don't control. Pretty much they fight, and then -9, creatures you control get 4/4/4 and gain trample until end of turn. Tezzeret Master of Metal, 6 mana for 5 loyalty. +1, reveal a card from the top of your library until you reveal an artifact. Put that into your hand, the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. -3, opponents lose life equal number of artifacts you control. -8, gain control of all artifacts and creatures target opponent controls. Now, this isn't a heavy artifact deck, so he is just in here mainly for his steal ability, his ultimate, to steal all of somebody's artifacts and creatures. Just saying. Then we got Jace, Architect of Thought. 4 mana for 4 loyalty planeswalker. He says +1. Until your next turn, whenever a creature an opponent controls attacks, it gets -1, -0 until end of turn. He's got -2. Real top 3 cards of your library. Put an opponent separates them into 2 piles. Put one in your hand, the other on the bottom of your library in any order. And then -8. For each player, search that player's library for a 9-land card, exile it. Then that player shuffles his or her library. You may cast those exiled cards without paying their mana cost. So he can ultimate and steal up to 3 spells and play them for free. We got another Jace. This time it's the Living Guild Pact. 4 mana for 5 loyalty. +1. Look at the top 2 cards of your look at the top 2 cards of your library. Put one of them into your graveyard. Okay. -3. Return another target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. -8. Each player shuffles his or her hand into their graveyard and his or her library. I'm sorry. His or her hand and a graveyard into their library. And then you draw 7 cards. Not everybody, just you. Then we got Jace, Memory Adept. 5 mana for 4 loyalty. Draw +1, draw a card. Target player puts the top card of his or her library into the graveyard. -0. Target player puts the top 10 cards of his or her library into their graveyard. -7. Any number of target players each draw 20 cards. Alright. Then we got Ashnok. I don't know if that's pronounced right. I'm sorry if it's not. 3 mana for 3 loyalty. +2, exile top 3 cards of target opponent's library. -X, put creature card with converted mana cost X or less. I'm sorry, X, not or less. Of X, exile the Ashnok Nightmare Weaver under the battle under your control. That creature is a nightmare in addition to its other types. -10, exile all cards from your opponent's hands and graveyards. Alright. Then we got Johnny the Undying. Here, let me try to get this a little more focused a little bit for you. Let me try to focus it a tiny bit better. There we go. Alright, good old Johnny. 6 mana for the 4 loyalty. Reveal the top 3 cards of your library. Put all 9-land creature cards revealed this way in your hand. The rest on the bottom of your library in any order. -2, exile target creature. Its control gains life equal to its power. -9, put 5 5+1/+1 counters on each creature you control, and 5 loyalty counters on each other planeswalker you control. That can be ridiculous. Because if you got creatures out without any +1s on them, and he goes ultimate, they all get +1s on them. And then Atraxa proliferates that every turn. So every creature will just get bigger and bigger and bigger every turn. Very strong card. We got another Johnny. The Tyrants, Adversary Tyrants. Put a 1/1 counter on each of up to 2 target creatures for his +1. -2, return target creature card with converted mana mana 2 or less from a graveyard to the battlefield. The -7, you get an emblem. It says at the end of your end step, create 3/1/1 cat creatures with lifelink. So that's good because, like, with doubling season, you get 6. So, remember, doubling season just isn't all about the loyalty counters. It's also about the tokens that can be produced. Good old Gideon of the Trials. 3 mana for 3 loyalty, +1. Till next turn, prevent all damage from target creature would deal. Target permanent would deal. -0, he becomes a 4/4 human. He's still a planeswalker. And prevent all damage that would be dealt to him this turn. -0, you get an emblem. Says as long as you control Gideon, a Gideon planeswalker, you can't lose the game. Your opponents can't win the game. So for 3 mana, you can make an emblem that says you gotta get rid of Gideon or you can't win the game. Pretty much. Very strong. Good old Ob. 5 mana for 5 loyalty. +1, draw a card, you lose a life. -3, destroy target creature. -8, target opponent gets an emblem with whenever a player draws a card, you lose 2 life. So you want to put this on opponent and then draw a lot of cards just to burn them out. Alright. Then we got Vraska. 6 mana for 6 loyalty, +2, create a 2/2 black pirate token with menace. -3, destroy target artifact, a creature, or enchantment. Create a colorless treasure that says you sack it and create a mana of any color. And then -10, target player's life total becomes 1. Now, if you got Doubling Season out with her and the Oath of Teferi, you can pretty much, or you don't even need the Oath of Teferi, but if she comes out, she can just turn, I'm sorry, yeah, with Oath of Teferi, you can make 2, use the ability twice, so you can make a token to protect her, and then you can put someone's life total at 1. That's very strong in a single turn. 4 mana for 6 loyalty. Man, I keep mixing those up, man. Sorry about that, guys. +1. This is Narset Transcendent. +1. Look at the top card of your library. If it's a non-creature, non-land card, you may reveal it and put it into your hand. -2. When you cast your next instant or sorcery spell from your hand this turn, it gains rebound. -9. You get an emblem with your opponents can't cast non-creature spells. Her emblem is very terrifying. Then we got Watley. I think that's how you pronounce her. Alright. 4 mana for 3 loyalty. Her +1, put a loyalty counter on Watley for each creature you control. -1, target creature gets +X until end of turn, where X is the number of creatures you control. -8, you get an emblem with whenever a creature enters the battlefield on your control, draw a card. And then we got the powerhouse that's Wrecking Standard, good old Teferi. Alrighty, and now Teferi says +1, draw a card. At the beginning of your next end step, untap 2 lands. Then he's got -3. Put target non-land permanent into its owner's library, third from the top. And then his -8 is you get an emblem whenever you draw a card, exile target opponent, permanent and opponent controls. Alright, so that's our Planeswalkers. As you saw, there's a lot. So this deck does kind of revolve around the whole Atraxa, Planeswalkers, Doubling Season thing. So, yeah. If you get Atraxa out on turn 4, the Planeswalkers are strong. If you get the Doubling Season out, they're godly. Alright, let's go to our instances. We only have one, and it's White Sun Zenith. X, white, create X 2/2 white cat creatures tokens, shuffle White Sun Zenith back into your library. This is just good for tokens and to double them up with Doubling Season. Let's go to our artifacts. We got a Mana Rock, another Signet Mana Rock, another Signet Mana Rock, Soul Ring Mana Rock, Darksteel Ingot Mana Rock, Everflowing Chalice Mana Rock. Now I like, let's pause for a second, because Everflowing Chalice I like because of its multi-kicker. It's 0 mana, but you can kick a multi-kicker for 2 colorless, and then it comes in with a counter on it for each time you kicked it, and then you add 1 colorless for each counter on it. So if you kick it for 1 time, it can produce 1 colorless mana. but then its counter can be proliferated each turn with Atraxa. So for 3 mana on the first time it gets played tapped, you're only getting 1, but then your next time you're getting 2 mana, on your next turn 3 mana, 4 mana, so on and so forth. So if you get this card out early with Atraxa, mid game, late game, it's going to produce so much mana. Alright, and then we got animation module. 1 mana. For an artifact, whenever one or more +1/+1 counters are placed on a permanent you control, you can pay 1. If you do, create a 1/1 servo. And then you can pay 3 and tap it. You choose a count on a target permanent or player. Give that permanent or player another count of that kind. This is great for creatures you got, or if you did get somebody with an infect on them, this can help kill them that much faster. That's our artifacts. Moving on to our creatures. Sorry, not our lands. Our lands are next, though. Our creatures. Now, our creatures are going to deal a lot with tokens and 1/1 counters. Like the Leonin War Leader, 4 mana for 4/4. Whenever he attacks, create 2 1/1 cats that have tokens that have lifelink that are tapped and attacking. Then we got good old Putrefacts, 5 mana for 5/3, trample, haste, infect. At the beginning of your end step, sacrifice it. Now this is the only infect creature we have. So we have the 1 infect enchantment and 1 infect creature. Like I said, it's like a very, very. Oh, I'm sorry. We do have 1 other infect creature, but it's a very, very small, semi-sub theme. And here's the other infect creature. And the Praetors, 4 mana for 3/2 infect. Other creatures you control with infect get +1/+1. And whenever you cast a creature spell with infect, target player gets a poison counter. So yeah, those are the only 2 infects in there. But if you get at least even 1 infect on somebody, it's pretty much a death sentence because it's just putting a time limit on them. Especially with creatures like Thummingbird. 2 mana for 1/1, flying. Whenever Thummingbird deals combat damage to a player, proliferate. Alright. Then we got Jedit, Ojiman of. I'm stopping right there. Jedit is 6 mana for 5/5. Force Walk. Whenever he attacks or blocks, create a 2/2 green cat warrior token with Force Walk. Then we got Herald of Streams, 4 mana for a 2/3. Creatures with 1/1 counters on them can't be blocked. Simple but effective. Then we got I'm not trying to pronounce that. It's a Life Crafter, Sage Life Crafter. 1 mana for 1/2. 3 mana tapper, create a 1/1 servo. 5 mana tapper, create an XX construct, where X is the number of creatures you control. Let me try to get this a little sharper now again. There we go. Minoplasm. 5 mana for 0/0. When it enters the battlefield, exile 2 creature cards from graveyards. If you do, it enters as a copy of one of those with a number of additional 1/1 counters on it equal to the power of the other card. So you get to get rid of 2 creatures, copy one of them, and then buff from the other one. Landra, the Dark Rose, 4 mana for 1/1, lifelink. Whenever another creature dies, put a 1/1 counter on her. Whenever she dies, create X 1/1 white creatures tokens with lifelink where her power is. So she gets big, and then when she dies, she creates little guys. Rishkar, 3 mana for 2/2. When he enters the battlefield, put 2 1/1 counters on each of up to 2 target creatures. Creatures you control with a counter on them. I'm sorry, not 1/1, any counter. It has tap it for 3 mana. So this is good because You put 1/1 counters on your creatures and then pretty much become Llanowar Elves if you need them. And there's lots of opportunities to put 1/1s on your creatures, especially with cards like whatever, Voice of Plenty. 4 mana for a 3/4 flying. You, planeswalkers you control, and other creatures you control have Hexproof. Great ability. Then pay 6, put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control. Very strong. We got my Elder, just for a little bit of a, card draw and a little bit of mana acceleration. Got good old Arena Rector because of all the planeswalkers we have. He is a great card. 4 mana for a 1/2. When he dies, you can search your library for planeswalker, put it onto the battlefield, and shuffle your library. So you want him to die quickly, so you can get his search off. Here's another search though. 5 mana for a 4/3. When Dejaru with eyes open enters the battlefield, search your library for a planeswalker card, reveal it, put it in your hand. If a source would deal damage to a planeswalker you control, prevent one of that damage. So you got a little bit, tutoring there with both of those guys. But with all the planeswalkers you got, they're both very powerful. Then we got Goreclaw, Terror of Qual Sima. 4 mana for a 4/3, legendary bear. Creatures you control with power 4 or greater cost 2 colorless less. Whenever Goreclaw attacks, each creature you control with power 4 or greater gets +1/+1 and trample until end of turn. Now, I like this because you do get a lot of weenie tokens, but with the ability to put counters on them, once they hit that threshold of 4 or greater, then they get even stronger, and then they can trample. Then we have Jehave, 5 mana for 0/0. He enters the battle with 5/1 counters on him. Colorless, remove a 1/1 counter from him, create a green sapperling, a 1/1 green sapperling, and then 1 mana ends in sack a creature, put a 1/1 counter on target creature. And then we got Resplendent Angel, 3 mana for 3/3, flying. At the beginning of your end step, if you gain 5 or more life this turn, create a 4/4 white angel token with flying vigilance. And then you got pay 6, and she gets +2/+2 and lifelink until end of turn. Verdurous Gearhawk, classic, even though it's still standard. It's classic standard. 5 mana for 4/4 trample. When it enters the battlefield, you distribute 4 1/1 counters among any number of target creatures you control. Then we got Vorosh, the Hunter. 6 mana for 6/6. Flying, when he deals combat damage to a player, you can pay 3 green. If you do, put 6 1/1 counters on him. And if you got Doubling Season, that's 12 1/1 counters. So that would be an 18/18 flying dragon. That can get bigger the next time it hurts you. Insane. Then we got Skullbriar, the Walking Grave. 2 mana for 1/1. Haste. Whenever Skullbriar deals combat damage, put 1/1 counter on it. And counters remain on it as long as it moves to any other zone other than the hand or the library. So if it goes to the graveyard, it keeps its counters. If for whatever reason you use this as a commander in another deck, if it goes to your command zone, it keeps its counters. As long as it doesn't go to your hand or library, yeah, it keeps its counters. And then our last creature, Vorel, 3 mana for 1/4. Tap a green and blue and tap her, double the number of each kind of counter on target artifact, creature, or land. I like her because I like the fact that it says or land. We'll get to that now, and our lands part of the deck. Now we have 38 lands. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8 of them being basics. 1 island. 3 forests. 2 swamp. And 2 plains. Alright. Now, let's get to our non-basics. Now, the reason why I said I liked her because of her ability to double counters on lands is because I run all the 4 Vivids. Now, these are great because they come in with 2 charge counters on them. They're tapped, but you can remove a charge counter and add 1 of any color mana to your mana pool. And with the Atraxa being able to proliferate, you never pretty much lose charge counters off of these because every turn you add a charge counter on it, and so they tap for any color mana essentially. And I run 1 of each of the 4 colors of her. Memorial, Recursion. Well, I run the 3 Memorials. I don't have the blue one. But yeah, the Memorial's good. I run her of her colors. Multi-tap land. Multi-tap land. Different multicolored tap land. A different one. I use all of the colors I could, as you can see. I mean, because they're good. They come in and they provide 3 different colors of mana that you need, so they're pretty good. Cycle land. Cycle land. Cycle land. Cycle land. Cycle land. I think that was all the cycle lands. Yep. Then we got this one. You can sack a creature to draw a card. Pain land. We got a scry land. Command tower. A check land. A creature land. Another pain land. Another check land. Quick land. Opal Palace. Exotic Orchard. Orchard adds 1 of any color mana that an opponent control. So, most opponents are running 3 colors. So, I mean, you're getting at least 1 of the colors that you need. Most likely 2 or 3 of the colors that you need. Foundry gets Thopters. Now, I like the next 2 because they have come in with counters on them. I mean, you could put counters on them and then remove them to add X amount of mana of, any combination of blue or black for this one in particular. So you put 1 counter on it and it proliferates up. I mean, so you can add it for colorless, you know what I mean? And then as long as it's got the 1 counter on it, Atraxa is going to make it proliferate each turn until you need it, and then you're going to get a big payoff. And the other creature that says it can double the amount of counters on a land, artifact, creature, or land, this works great with this. And then this one's the same type, only it's white or green. Alrighty, so that is my Atraxa deck. Some might call it Super Friends. I guess it would be something like that because it does have quite a bit of planeswalkers in it. I hope you guys enjoyed this deck. I like playing it. It's very, very fun. It's got you got so much synergy in it with the counters. It's fun because you're making tokens. You're making little guys that get bigger. Granted, the small infect in it. People don't like that, especially if they die to infect. But it's not really enough to be like the driving force of the deck. It's just kind of in there. But I enjoyed playing this deck. It's fun. It's decent power level. It's not super high in tier, but it'll hold its own against other decks. But here I'm about to end the video, and I haven't even showed you the sorceries. Oh my goodness! I am so sorry, guys. I'm walking off of not having much sleep last night. I am so sorry. I'll go through the sorceries really quick. They're simple. There's not many. We got Tezzert's Gambit. Draw 2 cards and proliferate. We've got Army of the Damned. You get 13 2 black zombies, and it's got flashback. Now, this costs a lot of money, but if you get it off, especially with doubling season, it's pretty much GG. Spread the sickness, destroy target creature, then proliferates. Curse of Phyrexia. Target player draws 3 cards, loses 3 life, and gets 3 poison counters. This could be a win condition already. If they have 7 poison counters on them, you can finish them off out of nowhere. If they don't have any poison counters on them, you could put 3 on it and just proliferate with Atraxa later on. Alright. Yawgmoth's Vile Offering. It's a legendary sorcery, but as long as you got your commander, and there's actually tons of legendaries in this deck, to activate this. 5 mana. Put target 1 target creature or planeswalker from the graveyard on the battlefield under your control, and then destroy 1 target creature or planeswalker. Then exile Yawgmoth's Vile Offering. Kamal's Druidic Vow. This is an excellent card in this deck because all the planeswalkers and all the oaths. X and green. Look at the top X cards of your library. You may put any number of land and or legendary permanents with converted X or less from among them on the battlefield, the rest in your graveyard. So, you want to put, like, I would say, at least 6 into this, at least, and then just, go ham with it, because 6 is like the average number of the planeswalkers mana cost, and you get this big 6. And so if you get 1 planeswalker out of that, it's very good. You're most likely going to get more than 1, but 6 is what I try to go for. Then we got Urza's Ruin of Splash, 5 mana. Exile all 9 permanents that aren't legendary. This is great because you have so many legendaries, because planeswalkers are legendaries, that most of the time this does very little to you, but can change the board drastically for everyone else. Alright, now, that's our sorceries. That's our Atraxa deck. I hope you liked the video. I hope you had fun. I hope you get those shares up on the videos for the contest. The drawing is going to be the 7th. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend, and I hope you guys are getting ready for Ravnica coming out. I know I am. Tell me what you think. Tell me if you're looking forward to Ravnica, or if you like the deck, how would you play it? What would you put in? More infect? Less infect? Let me know. You guys have a great day, and I'll catch you next time on Magic in the Basement. Signing out.